Today on Shop Nation, we make some serious headway on the cabinets. We put on the tops, put on the face frames, give it a paint job, and mount it to the wall. So, jumping straight into the content, the first order of business is to mount the faces in the toe kick area. This not only finishes off the front of the cabinet, but offers a tremendous amount of rigidity to the whole assembly. Now, if you've been following along with the build thus far, I'm using the exact same method of glue and screws for this piece. For the front-facing panel on this section, I'm electing to just use screws in case I want to change or modify this later. An example of this is if I wanted to add a floor sweep later. Having the ability to easily remove it makes this an easy task in the future. With those toe kick panels knocked out, we can move on to the face frame for the lower cabinets. Now, I'm not going to spend a bunch of time going over how I did this because I'm using, again, the exact same method I used for the upper cabinets. If you'd like to see that in more detail, check out the card here. The only real consideration here is to plan how much overhang you want on your drawers. Because of this, I ended up with two different width styles, which are the vertical pieces, separating the drawer columns. Again, glue and brad nails, just like the upper cabinets. With everything dry and set up, I can move on to paint prep, which always starts with wood filler for those pesky little nail holes. Mask was not necessary for this bit. But definitely recommended for sanding once it's all dry. I'll put a link in the description for this mask, which I really like and I try to use anytime I'm either sanding or cutting nasty materials like MDF. Finally, time for the cabinet's last trip outside of the shop to my makeshift paint booth. Here I'm propping up the front feet of the cabinet to give me better access to that toe kick area we installed earlier. So now that the cabinet is sanded and ready to go, I could tape off the areas that I don't need to paint, because keep in mind, I only have to paint the front side and both sides. I'm gonna choose not to because the rest is gonna be hidden anyways, and I'm gonna save some time. Now I'm gonna use my favorite airless paint sprayer once again, and it's always recommended to strain your paint before use. Link in the description to this Graco unit. I've really had a great experience with it. Here you can see I'm screwing on the bladder and bleeding the system of air. Then, wait, what's next? Oh, paint. So while I have the cabinets out of the garage, being painted and drying, I'm gonna go ahead and tackle the electrical. Now what I've decided to do is actually move the receptacles, you can see over my shoulders there, down so that they're hidden within the cabinet or just above the surface of the cabinet. And that will come in handy once we add some finishing touches, which you'll see in the next episode. But let's get to the electrical. So I wanna preface this next section by saying that if you are not comfortable doing electrical, don't try it. Bring someone in who knows what they're doing. Now what I'm doing is not difficult, it's not rocket science, you do not have to be an electrician to do this. There's tons of great YouTube videos out there that show you how to do it. Work safe, work smart, and you'll be just fine. Now if you do want to tackle an electrical project, the one tool that I really highly recommend at minimum is one of these little voltage detectors. Now this one is a Fluke. I will link this in the description, but there are several brands that make these. You do not need to know how to use a multimeter to use this. You simply plug this into the outlet or around any wire that you suspect may be hot, and it will tell you definitively yes or no. I really like keeping one of these close anytime I'm doing any electrical work, just to get that peace of mind before I reach in there and grab something. Alright, it is now the next day. The paint on the cabinets is dry, the electrical is done. Last step is to move the cabinets into the garage and mount them into their final location. Hopefully now the new outlet locations make more sense. One last sanity check for level across all the cabinets. Then, when I'm happy with their position, I marked out the locations of the studs and drove in some screws to anchor the cabinet to the wall. This is really more just to keep them in place if they get bumped down the road, rather than keeping them from tipping over. The last step of this chapter is to make the cabinet top work surfaces. I'm keeping it simple and using MDF for the top work surface.
Matilda's dad did that. You know, we use super glue because it's faster and it's cheaper. Don't you want to sell good cars, Dad? Don't people need good cars? That's her.
In addition to the MDF, I'm using some thin plywood on the underside for stability as well as additional thickness to mount the edge pieces. For that edging around the top surface, I'm using poplar strips, ripped down to 1 1/8 inches, which is the total thickness of my laminated top. Good old glue and brad nails are used once again to put it all together. I sized the top to overhang the front face frame by 4 inches, which means it will extend beyond the drawer faces by about 3 inches. Side note, MDF is freaking heavy. I dinged up a corner after dropping it, but it's just shop furniture, right? Gluing up the last 2 pieces and then and then it's the same drill for keeping them flat while the glue sets up. Do you even clamp, bro? While those are drying, I'm going to mount the ledgers, which the miter saw platform will sit. I have to mount it at the exact right height so that the adjacent sides of the work surface are flush with the saw. Here you can see the spacer block I cut as a reference for the correct height of my saw. Alright, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you again for watching. As always, Shop Nation, if you want to continue to follow along on this build, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Anything that I've used in the video that may be relevant to you is listed in the description below. In the next video, we're actually going to finish the cabinets. We're going to build the drawers, build the fronts, mount it all on the carcasses, put on some finishing touches, and we should be good to go. And finally, the subscriber update. As of shooting this video, we are at 23,087 subscribers. Thank you for the continued support, the words of encouragement, and even the candid feedback. I really do appreciate it. Be sure to keep an eye out for the next video, and we will see you next time.